Welcome to The Prize Inside. The Prize Inside. A chiropractor's journey in everyday holistic health and vitality. Here, your host, Dr. Jeremy Myers, delves into the remarkable journeys of everyday people who have embraced the path to health and healing. Through his practice, Dr. Jeremy encounters inspiring stories of profound transformation and the power of true healing within each of us. Stay tuned as we discuss various holistic topics and unlock the healing potential that lies within us all.
Now you.
Oh yeah.
What's up?
What's up? It's gonna be really fun. All of you odd. This is so cool. What? Hello. Why'd you bring the children? This is like adult only.
They stuck in here. Sorry.
All right.
They're not saying nothing. They're just saying hi.
How are we all doing? I'm so excited. This is gonna be good. Yes. Hello, my dear. How's Reagan doing? Anything? You can say hello on the video.
They already got a 2-hour delay because of temperatures tomorrow.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're good. We're off school anyway. So
Martin Luther King, yeah.
That's right. So yep. It's like gonna be a whopping 10.
Like I wonder, Amy, if we're going to have a delay tomorrow.
We are.
You will not have a delay. That's right.
I have the day off because, Sadie. So.
Oh, well, there you go. So,
yeah.
Yeah, some of us tough the weather, so I don't know.
I don't.
That's
favorite kids.
All right. Well, you guys hang out if you want to. Absolutely. So I got to go through a couple tonight should be really fun, actually. I brought a couple guests on. If you haven't seen that, Dr. Rachelle Myers. Amy's mostly with me all the time. If she could get it done, you know what I mean, with kiddos and all that stuff. And then Ryan Myers is here to talk about some resolution stuff because we talked about this week being the week of Rachel and I talked about it. This is the week of everybody giving up on their stuff. So this is the week.
I get my gym back.
So typically they do the January, the New Year's thing, and then everybody gives up. Right?
Yeah.
It's actually a national holiday.
What'd you say?
A national holiday.
Yeah, it's like the National Give Up Holiday. So what we thought was be a kind of a cool one to kind of go through some motivational stuff, and with the Rachel's program and Ryan getting into the weightlifting and nonstop, those kind of things. I want to see how that rolls. So we'll see. So hopefully I won't over talk everyone. That's probably make sure I do not do that. All right. So I got to do this part first because I found some cool stuff before we start. Okay. So these are the research places. And don't forget, everybody, on Wednesday night, we do this about 6:30. That's going to be a recorded one where I go through the news of the week to kind of give a good holistic perspective to things in the news, latest and greatest trends that are out there, TikTok health advice, those kind of things. Now that I guess TikTok got restored again today. So we'll have more stuff getting advised through TikTok. So we want to make sure we know, what is happening with those before we go into those. So here's the 3 research ones we got. Did you know that flu, you have a 54% higher risk of flu if you're sleep deprived. So if you're not getting good sleep, then you're going to end up with that flu. That's why a lot of people feel really good when they get, their sleep under control. So that's something to remember that, as you go into the flu season, maybe figuring out the sleep aspect of things. Many people I've noticed, I'm not a huge fan of the CPAP machines, but when people get them, they feel a lot healthier because they're actually sleeping. Yeah. It's true
Proof
story.
of that.
Yes.
I'm telling you, Jeremy, that I would advise anybody to do it. It's like,
Oh, the
you
CPAP
don't know
machine.
how many times you like fall, like you actually stop breathing in the night. It's crazy.
I know. The only thing I have is like there's got to be a why to why that's occurring. Because right now we're doing the symptom, right? We're just putting oxygen in our mouth, not knowing the why is that happening. Like why are people waking up that many times at night?
Right,
And it doesn't even make sense.
You're probably made to sleep on, like the ground or whatever, and then be on your side so your tongue doesn't fall in your mouth. So once you fall back on your back, it's uncomfortable sleeping on the ground that way.
Well, one time we had a few of us chiropractors like hanging out at a bar, so that ended up we were trying to figure out like the naturalist sleep. How would you actually sleep? Like if you were in a cave, hunting and gathering your food. So we thought, all right, let's see what that would look like. Well, you wouldn't lay on your stomach because there's other animals that would like to eat you. So you wouldn't lay on your stomach because you couldn't get up and run if you had to have that problem. So you'd have to like lay on your stomach off to the
fetal
side,
position, basically.
Right. So in almost like on your stomach in a low, like with your head turned slightly. That's what we think, but there's no actual evidence to that. But you wouldn't lay on your back because if you're not the number one guy in the food chain anymore, or the number one lady in the food chain, you're probably not going to lay on your back. That's what we were thinking. But so that was a night at the bar.
Maybe you'd lean against the cave wall.
That's what I was saying.
Maybe
you would put your back up against the wall on the side.
I wasn't privy to that bar meeting, so I don't know.
Right,
up against a tree,
could be totally. Here's another good one. So optimizing vitamin D for pregnant women. So making sure your vitamin D level is good when you're pregnant gives your child a higher bone density, which makes sense, like as you go, but it's something we don't pay attention to. So if you know somebody in your life that is, pregnant or something, make sure their vitamin D is optimized. Okay. This one's kind of cool. Like I want to, this one, I'm not going to say the name correctly, but it's interesting. It's called Kempferol. Kempferol is just what they call a flavonoid out of green leafy vegetables. And what they're finding with this Kempferol, it's one of the many things that they find out of like those type of vegetables and stuff. It's a potent anti-allergenic, which is kind of hard. Like anti-allergies, we don't talk a lot about here in herbal world. How to fix allergies and sinuses and those kind of things are in there, but to possibly prevent these allergic reactions. So that is found in dark green leafy vegetables. So sometimes if you can find a good greens powder, there's lots out there. We have some at the office. There's quite a few good ones out there. That could be a really good thing if you have a lot of allergies. But what I found was
it makes great with protein shakes, Jeremy.
Yeah, they make fantastic protein shakes. It's an easy way to get your deep dark greens in if you're not a big dark green person. Your
shakes. Just stuff.
That's what I do.
Spinach in there or kale, which I did ask Allie if kale, you can still taste kale in her shake. She says yes, and she basically said Uncle Ryan needs to stop being a pansy and just suck it down. So
that's right.
But you can hide a lot of green leafy stuff.
Yeah. And that's the neat thing, because if it's going to help allergies, I swear that's a good move. A lot of times once I got into herbal, I never really had the allergy issues anymore, but I see it every day. So it's one of those that it could be a really, really good thing to do. Another add-on to that once this article went into that is that Kempferol, which is a flavonoid of the dark green vegetable or dark green leafy vegetable, but vitamin C at 300 to 500 milligrams daily has some major antihistamine properties. So if you're having major allergies, that could be another good one. Not just taking vitamin C when you're sick, but also at that situation. And then the last one is, I've said it many times, is quercetin. Quercetin is another good one for allergies, and that's found in your onion skins, apples and berries, but you guys know quercetin or quinine are the ones that I like making sure you're taking all the time, so your zinc goes in your cells and you don't get the flu or the whatever next virus will be out there. Okay. So there is what I have for the research part. So let's start this thing. So tonight I wanted to talk about keeping these resolutions or a different approach to the resolutions. All right. So I'm going to start with interview. Rachel, I'll have you go first. Oh, Reagan's on there. Oh, that's awesome. Reagan, keep asking questions. That's fine. You can comment. That's right. You can comment all day if you want. So, Rach, what would your advice be in this time when we're cold and tired and all the football's getting better and we had all these like weight loss goals or workout goals and they just kind of went away because we're cold now and we start working again? Let me know.
Well, I get overwhelmed when I look at the big picture. So January 1st, you look at, it's the whole calendar and you choose your goals and this is what you want to do. And this is how much you want to, lose weight or gain muscle mass or whatever you want to do. Read books, but then I get lost in the shuffle when I look at the whole big picture, and that's when I lose steam. So I chunk my goals in smaller. So, and it's actually 3 weeks. 3 weeks is kind of like, okay, that's my focus. Do I always make the 3 weeks? No. But then I have to tell myself, because I get into the rabbit hole of sometimes negative thinking, I did accomplish something within those 3 weeks. So let's build on that and then dial things in for the next 3 weeks and improve it. So kind of like your 1%, make your 1%. So I would say if you're struggling, if you missed out, if you totally, went off the rails, tomorrow's a new day. Reset, start again.
Yeah. So, and that's where I brought Ryan on tonight, because I think one of the things that happens in resolutions is that we don't think of it as a habit, a lifetime habit. And so what happens is we start these resolutions thinking they're like these temporary markers, when really the resolutions we should be setting are more high-end, life-changing, altering. What if I don't have, let's say I have 7 resolutions and they're all like temporary, that doesn't do as good as one that could be for your lifetime, right? So Ryan, give me some advice on this, since you stay lifting and doing all the stuff you do.
I mean, that's just make it a habit. I mean, I've always said there's a point for every person that does exercise. I think, like training all these different people and stuff, these different friends and whatever. I've always called it the 3 month mark. If you can make it to that 3 month mark, you make it a habit. Like that. If you can just stick it out, even if you start missing days, but then that next week, like Rachel said, you get back to where you were at, and then you go above. And as long as you keep doing that for 3 months straight, it becomes a habit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, I mean, if you can do that, that's the one goal you do with that. That's the goal you need to set for that one goal, life-changing goal that you want to do for that year. Like, say, drinking water or going to the gym for 10 minutes.
Right.
Or whatever. Just build upon it.
Right.
Because I always make it to that 3 month mark, and then it becomes a habit.
Right. Because I always think, like, if you can do that at one at a time and you can become like a lifetime habit person.
Well, think of it in 3 month chunks too. Like, if you had a 1% goal and you focus on that 1% goal every 3 months, you started a new goal too. And as long as you kept that goal, you can chunk it like that.
Exactly.
Well,
exactly. Don't make it a resolution. Make the year a resolution of resolutions.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is that you see this, Ryan, with friends that, you've helped in the gym. Their confidence starts to kind of ratchet up, so that when they need to build on that second habit, it's as if that second habit gets easier or gets installed a little bit quicker than the first one.
Yeah.
So the first one is really the tough one, and you just really need to stick it out and gut it out, even though that it's not perfect, right?
And you can carry that into like weightlifting too. And Jeremy agrees too. Is like when you work out a body part a day or a workout, you focus on that one exercise, that main muscle group first, and that's what you build upon. But you would do bench. Even though you do different forms of bench for your chest or whatever, that's what you focus in on every first workout. And you always have a goal for that. And that's, how many reps, how much weight, and then, points of failure where your points of failure are and everything,
Yeah. And the biggest thing is like when I think of this, I always think of the mental, like Amy and I have done many things on visualization and, just great positive mental attitude type situations. Visualization's obviously my favorite. One of the things in the visualization part where you basically take 10 minutes to visualize your perfect day, to visualize your perfect, all those things. It kind of sets your brain up. One of the things that I learned in that visualization is start with something easy so that you can start creating the habit. Maybe weight loss or weightlifting is a little overwhelming for you. So start with something in that 3-month time frame that you want to do that's a little easier. Let's say you say, all right, I want to read a book every day, right? Rachel started that a while ago, and now she does that on a regular, right? But it also opens the door for the harder one, right? So now we started reading a book on a regular basis. Now she's eating good because that is the same process of the habit, because now you're in the flow of actually changing what you're doing day after day, and so that's why like consistency in this like 1% tribe. I want to do this every Sunday, regardless of all the crazy stuff that can happen. And once you start doing it, you almost become addicted to the improvement of who you are. And that's why I've always loved Ryan on here, because he was a beanpole, skinny little punk, uncoordinated, couldn't do nothing. And now he's a monster. And it just angers me because he keeps telling everybody I taught him all that stuff. And I did not, because I do not look like that.
No, that was one of my goals was you. I told you that was one goal of when I started weightlifting was to outlift you, basically.
Yes, that was, and then
when I graduated.
Yes, because I know Amy's done that too. Like Amy's has a workout regimen a lot of times that she's done with groups of ladies as well. And like I always notice like when people are doing it, like life gets in the way, right? That's not what we're here for. If you're not in the habit, we are not here.
But the thing is that life will always get in the way.
Yes.
It's once you get that habit and that drive and that kind of like you're saying, you have to do that Sunday Zoom because it's just a have to. So even when life gets in the way, you figure out how to work it, which is really neat. So, and that's why I think Ryan stuck it out so much. I mean, you had babies and moving and different jobs and, the gamut, over the years. And then you've cleaned up your diet, so you're not always at McDonald's. You do frequent sometimes.
That is the funniest part.
7 days of the week.
Oh no,
2 times a day.
Not anymore. That's right.
Not anymore.
Stupid energy drinks. Yeah, I have proof of why Ryan was a lab experiment for energy drinks, and it was a failure. And now he's good. Now he doesn't do that crap anymore. But so I think tonight is it's kind of fun because it's so many different parts and pieces when you're talking resolution, right? So it's really lifetime habit. What lifetime habit are you going to want to introduce in your life this year? And that makes it a lot different perspective when you're looking at these resolutions, and saying if losing 10 pounds in the middle of winter is going to be a tough thing because physiologically we're gaining because we're in the middle of winter, So if you go based on these natural laws, right? Your body's kind of packing it on.
Let me ask you a question, Jeremy, real quick.
Yeah.
What about a resolution within a resolution? Say, like,
Right.
had a 5-year resolution, like 5 years ago, your resolution was to read a book every year. And then the next year you said, hey, let's do 2 books or 3 books. Right?
Right.
Right. What do you think about those? Something like
I
that.
really like that. It's the success of what you're doing, right? But here's the thing that I learned in this book. It was oh man. Dang it. I'm gonna forget the book. It's like one of the best business books out there. Dang it. Anyway, so every successful CEO, every single one in all these top level billion-dollar companies, their secret to success, this is honest to God truth, is they do one thing a day, one thing a month. They only have one thing on their to-do list. Think about that. There's a ton of stuff on their to-do list, right? But if they finish one well, they've succeeded in that day, right? So here, a good example. Yes. If you go back to my old podcast with an interview with Chuck Brenner. Chuck Brenner is an adventure racer, did a 13-day race. It was called Primal Quest. And it was a 13-day race with 4 people. And one of the things was he never did that stuff before.
Oh, this
his girlfriend wanted to do it.
I hope my buddies are listening to this story, because this is the story I've been trying to tell everybody about running a marathon. So yeah.
Yes, right. So he had never ever did it. He never ran before. And so what happened was his girlfriend kept slowly going, hey, what do you think about today? She would run every day. What do you think about today? So she went and bought him like running stuff. She's like, at least put the stuff on. We don't have to go, but I'd like to have you with me, right? And he starts putting the jogging stuff on, right? 2 months goes in, he's wearing the jogging stuff. He finally goes, man, I think I should just jog. I got the jogging stuff on, but he kept doing it. Every time she would ask, he'd kind of put the jog stuff on and, that thing. And it led him to a 13-day with his wife now with his wife 13-day adventure race where he succeeded. They out of I think it's like out of 20 people that enter this race, I think it might have been more than that, but it was a good maybe 8 finish it, and it's a team of 4. So if you ever want to see it, it's the same exact races. It's called it's on Amazon Prime, and it's called The World's Toughest Race. If you go watch that, that's exactly what Chuck did, but not in this beautiful place in New Zealand. It was in the middle of America. But yeah, so if you ever want to see that, it is incredible.
They went through the Badlands.
Yeah.
That's where they were.
Yeah, you sleep 2 hours per day.
Yeah. You have a support team, but yeah, so you track, hike, canoe, scale,
all of it. Yeah, it's amazing. Like, and we had Rachel and I before Kit. We had Allie was born, right? Yeah, when we helped them.
I was nursing on our first race.
Oh yeah, because that's right. Yeah. So we've done adventure races a bunch of times. It's just a great way. It's so fun. We were gonna do this January, but we're not ready yet. So that is our 1% habit. Getting out. We'll do one this summer.
Up for them, but we don't do.
Yeah, we'll sign up. See, that's a step, right? So keep signing up. And I'll pay and won't show up. That's how I work it. And then I'm like, oh, I'm going to be ready for the next one I sign up for. Right. So those are ways to do it that I think that you two have it, like with Rachel and her, the whole way to eat kind of process. So walk me through your healthy habits, Rach, right now. Is that a good?
Well, first off, the American diet is not the way to fuel our body. It's not 3 square meals a day, big portions. It's just not. So, we go over on how to properly fuel your body throughout the day. Hydration is key. That's a habit that we work on, and you can actually work on that. And I have clients work on their hydration habit, their water habit, even before they start. So we teach portion control. We teach protein, carb, and fat balance meals. I teach to eat off a 9-inch plate, so that way it helps in portion control. And then it's the habit building. That's really what's going to sustain and keep your progress and help you get into that lifelong healthy mindset. So I do have some clients that have done program. They used it as a diet, and guess what? They've gained all the weight back. But they never dove into, what habits do they have? What automatic habits do they have that they don't even realize? For some, it's your car stopping automatically to get that sweet iced tea at McDonald's every morning when you go to work. That's a lot of sugar just in the morning. So realizing all those little bits and having conversation and discussions on how we can have them walk away from that, or tweak things, or swap things, or rework things. So there's 4 parts. It's the food, it's the support, and there's multi levels of different support, the habit building, the education, and then I'm missing one. Can't remember the 4th one. But anyways, there's 4 of them. I probably combined one.
Yeah. No, it's really cool, like, to look at those things, and sometimes you need that help on your way. Like, well, hello, hi, Caden, how are you? Oh, you're gonna sneak away? Of course you are. That's our Phase 10 champion right there. She whooped us, all of us adults, didn't you?
Shark. Don't play Phase 10 with her.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. Somebody will take us for all we're worth. It's pretty bad. It was pretty impressive. Don't let the smiley face fool you. She's card shark. That's right. But yeah, a lot of times when we look at these different things, we have to understand that when we do these resolutions, we create almost a like an anti-brain situation, if you will. So you cause your own stress by creating some kind of resolution that will create this guilt situation that doesn't lead you to anything, which then leads you to more guilt going in. That's why all the gym memberships are $10 a month, ladies and gentlemen. You know why? Because they know none of you are going. And then they know
you gotta pay. I learned that you got to pay to like get rid of them now too. Like
right,
like they have to like what is it, Planet Fitness or whatever.
Oh yeah,
$10. Yeah, they hook you in, and if you cancel before whatever, they get to pay extra to cancel.
Correct.
I thought there was no. I thought it was free or whatever. But
I know. Well, that's how they work, because they know if everybody showed up with the $10 a month membership, they could not fit the volume of people that go into the gym. So there's a very big percentage, and it's not their fault. It's a great business model.
Right.
They all know the guilt that we get in this New Year's resolution stuff, and that we stop trying. And that's what tonight's all about. Like, why is that certain time the time that we do that? Like, we should be constantly improving 1% every single day. Very easy. Like, as you go, if you have this little bit of percentage improvement every single day, then you don't run into those things. You know what? Today I improved by, for me, I researched these 3 articles, found a really good one. Okay, cool. Did I do what I wanted to do throughout the day? Maybe I didn't work out like I wanted to, but I'm being a big wuss, and I know that about myself, about my workout area is like not really heated well. So tomorrow and the next day will be a little.
It's too cold to go work out.
Listen,
that's what the Y is for, Jeremy. You guys,
I know.
Y membership.
No, I have to do it in the winter.
I think cousin Dave would like to see you up there, probably.
That's right. Exactly. I know. But yeah, that's the coolest part, is like understanding, like, as we go, these are things that we can start on, and it could be anything.
And there shouldn't be an excuse for it either.
No, not really. Right. True story. I got to get your link. Hang on. Well, while you guys keep talking. So Ryan, so tell us a little bit about, I want to talk about this because I think it's so cool that you've created like a side hustle business. You can talk about it. Let's talk about it. And because I want to talk about what you've done that I think is so awesome. So, not only does he work out and stuff, he talks
about it. Hang on. Can I have the microphone?
Yes.
Okay. Before he talks about it. You know we're gonna fight tonight.
I know.
So Ryan, why do you're always busy, right? Always. You always have something going on. Okay.
Yeah.
So when I have clients who are struggling, I tell them find something to do. It'll keep you productive. It'll keep you busy. So how has this side hustle that you've done helped you focus even more on your health?
I guess it's distracted me a lot from doing a lot of stuff or sitting around and not doing a lot of things. Like I am always doing moving, doing stuff. I don't have any really extra time to do anything. I got to work, all these extra jobs around coaching and work and working out. Because that's my things. Those are my three things. Like always, family, working out, and work. And I have to keep those there. Now I got this barrel thing. I got to fit in there.
I put it in the comments, baby. We'll talk about it.
So now this just squeezes a little bit of time out of the barrels in the family. Not, it's actually with the family because it's mostly done at home and stuff. So the girls are out watching, helping, and it just keeps me busy. It keeps me, and it's actually helped me, stay working, focus out because, refocuses my energy towards working out because I know it's a priority, and work and everything else.
So you got less time wasted because your day is so squeezed in.
Right.
So you've got less time wasted, but then you're also your hobby, which is a really great craft. You all need to go visit his site. I'm getting tables, and I forgot to give you our logo. But anyways, it's coming. It's coming.
Sorry, I just sold two and got two more. So.
Oh, that's cool. So they're super cool. But the coolest thing is that you introduced some more movement within your day while being productive, while creating a side hustle. But you're also, engaging with your family too. So there's just so many win layers on there. But I think it's neat. I mean, you're very talented. You're very creative, which is cool. I get to reap some of the benefits from it too. So
and Ryan and I, when we're able to get together, one of the things that we've always focused on is self-improvement things, right? We've always done it. We've always talked about it constantly. And one of the things that we've thought of years ago, I don't know which Christmas it was, but I do this inventing hobby. One of the reasons I got inspired to do the inventing hobby was my first time I ever went to an inventor group meeting. And what happened is that there was a father there that had worked at a regular job. So he had regular 9 to 5, and very simple. One of the neatest things is once he got into this invention stuff, he actually was engaging with his kids, and they were helping him design things and doing a lot of these things. But it wasn't just small talk. It was he wanted to do this with his children to kind of see what they could do with it, right? And so one of the neatest things for me was I was completely inspired by this guy. It was hilarious. He made the dog. I think it's in the invention world now, but it was a dog dish. Those big ear dog. What are they called?
Basset Hound.
Basset Hound. The Basset Hound. They have a specific Basset Hound dish, so his ears didn't get wet when he was going for water. So it's this perfect shape. pet stores went nuts for it because it's just easy to sell, right? And he won all kinds of awards, him and his daughters. And one of the things that I thought was neat was sometimes, it doesn't need to be just, your physical health, but what if you took your kids out and you did the same thing and you had the same interaction? Let's say it's, let's all work out together, right? Or, mom needs some help in this motivation thing. Let's get some planks done, right? We start there, but then we kind of fall off of that because you quit asking. But if you just keep asking, it happens. Allie's going to kill me. But what used to be years ago, they knew every night I always went weightlifting about 8:00 at night. The reason is that everybody's in bed, that kind of thing. And I can sleep through that stuff. It doesn't wake me up or anything, but it also kept me away from, the little pint-sized ice creams.
Snacking.
So, what are they?
Ben and Jerry's.
Ben and Jerry's, yes, or the Snickers ice cream bars. So as soon as I'd sit down, that crap would just sit in that freezer all the time. But if I weightlifted, I didn't want any, right? So put the kids in bed, and that's when I'd do it. One of the times when Allie was old enough, I would say, Allie, you want to come work out? I would go, she'd be like, nah. I'm like, okay, cool. So we didn't, right? And I do it every time. She's like, where are you going? Going out to work out. You want to come? Okay. No guilt, because I hate that. Like, I don't want kids to feel that way. You guys don't want your kids to feel that way, but they're gonna say no. That's their parent is asking you to do something, so their instant reaction is no. That's just the way it is. So over time, we do this little thing, song and dance, and then eventually, she said she would go, "Can I play my music?" So I'm like, yeah, absolutely. So we'd go out there and we'd be weightlifting to Taylor Swift.
Iron to Taylor Swift, Ryan.
Nice.
I do it.
But we'll do it.
I did it, man. We had a great time. Now, what's crazy about that is, like, as she got used to doing it with us, we'd go out, hammer out to Taylor Swift. Like, it would be great. Her deadlifting form to this day is probably one of the best I've seen as a kid at that age, in the kid thing. And it's a brag moment because she would just one time. This is so funny. I'll give this one up. So I had Brian would appreciate this. I had 255 on the bar for deadlift. She didn't know. So she just went and picked it up, deadlifted it. She's like, how much was that? I go, that was a lot, honey. that was like, did you just?
I got friends that don't do that much now.
I know. She just did it like natural, but her form was so perfect, and she had been doing a lot lighter weight that not knowing was kind of this cool thing. That's so awesome. I say, like, sometimes bring your group, bring your people, like, do that. If you got no people, find some people. Like Ryan finds them all the time at the weight room, and the amount of people that come out to
Ryan's
yes.
trying to hide and work out, and they keep finding him.
Yeah. I announce at 8:00, YMCA, Auburn, Indiana. Just come out, and I give them get yourself a workout.
Yeah, that's the neatest part, man.
And we started sprints this last couple of weeks, so yeah.
I know.
It's fun.
Getting a support system going. That's
oh yeah.
key.
Yeah.
Everybody texts everybody pretty much. Hey, you going?
Exactly.
Of course we're going. Why do you gotta text me? We're going.
It's gonna be your turn where you're not wanting to go, and then someone's gonna do that push pull. Hey, I'm going. You gotta come.
Yep.
So it works.
And it happens in different scenarios too. So remember that as well. If you want to get in a book, right? And all of a sudden you go, well, I got to do laundry and, cooking, and, these kind of things can get in your way. It doesn't matter what the situation is. We're using weightlifting tonight, but think about all those different things.
Just get out and do something. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Get out and move. I mean, get out and move and meet somebody or something. That could be your whole goal, is to get out, go meet the neighbor halfway around the block or something. I got two older ladies that they walk their dogs every day. They're in the 70s, and I swear to you, it's their goal every day is to probably walk another half a block every day.
Right.
So it's crazy. They're really, really healthy old lady,
Well,
so
and they
stuff
may
like that.
they may have not started out that way. They probably just, started going up and down the driveway.
Right.
Doing
Because when we first moved here, the one lady's been doing it forever, but the other lady, she was like, I think she's about 10 years younger, so she's probably in her older, late 60s. She's probably almost 70 now. But I swear, I think she lost 30 pounds just walking her dog with that other lady.
Mm-hmm.
That was her training, because she had to walk the dog with the other lady, because that dog needed to be able to be socialized with another dog in order to stay at this lady's house. So she ended up losing 30 pounds that way. That was pretty funny.
She had motivation to socialize her dog, and the end result was her losing 30 pounds. That's crazy cool.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like getting your mind off of those different things, like I always say, like, it's I'll give you a good example, kind of doctor-patient thing. One of my patients, he's been coming to us a long, long time. He was diagnosed when he first started with us with Parkinson's. When he started, I've probably told you guys this story before, probably. But so when he started, he had a lot of military injury type situation. So the military stuff, had really kind of did a damper on his health overall. Well, one of the neat things is we started getting to know each other pretty well. Chiropractic was going great. We had, we started to see great results. One of the neat things about him, though, is that he'd tell me things he liked, right? So he'd tell me things. He's like, my wife got me, because of Parkinson's, she had heard coloring was really good. So he started, and he's very big biblically. So he had all these little these coloring books that had a lot of like cool, pictures, Bible stories, and those kind of things. Well, he started doing it, but one of the neatest things was he was able to give it to his kid that he didn't get to see a lot, because she lives about 4 hours away. So he'd go up and give her a new drawing every single time they saw each other. Well, what was so neat about this, and this is what I want us to understand, like having that partner can be so huge. His daughter put them in each drawing or coloring thing that he did. She would put it in that those sheets that you keep in almost like a photo album, basically. So she would put them in there, and he didn't know she was doing that. And so then one Christmas, she goes, check this out. And she pulls it out, and she could watch his progression of him not being able to color in the lines very well to almost perfection over time. And he was so touched that she would actually keep them in a little photo album because they were from him. So it's a beautiful story of a partnership that made him healthier and created a relationship. And so those are the kind of things when we're looking at these resolutions, creating these lifelong habits is really about that, and so not beating ourselves up over it, man. It's insane. It's like you beat yourself up for it. You're guilty for 6 months, and then you're like, oh well, next year, whatever, right? It's
3 weeks out of the year. Don't throw the whole year out. Just start again.
Don't stop.
It's cold. I was just like, oh shit, there it went.
No, that's one of the goals for today is to run through the cold to get to the front door of the gym. That's it. Just get there right now, just for this 1 month or whatever. Just run through the parking lot and get to the front door. That's all you got to do.
My goal tomorrow isn't going to lift, but all the people on Facebook and the office can make fun of me as I'm getting out there because it's so cold. It's so cold, but I'm going to do it.
I did 2 days straight of exercise.
Nice.
So
good job.
I'm keeping my streak going. My aim is 10 consecutive days. That's how short my goal is. And
Amy,
once
have
I'm
you
done
done
with
any
my
beast
10,
mode stuff?
I'm doing
I know
10
you.
more.
No, but I did. I put a whiteboard on the wall in my room 2 weeks ago, and it says on the top, what would happen if you stayed consistent with one thing for 1 year? So, like, I feel like most people have a not, it's all or nothing mindset. So, like, you make this resolution, I'm going to lose 50 pounds, I'm going to work out 6 days a week, I'm going to cut out sugar, I'm going to cut out alcohol, I'm going to, eat keto. Well, that's too much for most people to do all of that. So, I say pick one thing and try to stay consistent with it. And, like, Jeremy, if it's too cold for you to go outside, why can't you do some push-ups and sit up and old school calisthenics inside where it's nice and warm? You have the room, and isn't your rowing machine inside?
Yeah, it is. And he has a bike inside too.
Right up
So
and down
you have things to do. You don't have to go outside and lift.
Right.
You can if you only have
myself out of right. Exactly.
Yeah. If you only have 10 minutes to walk instead of 30 minutes on the treadmill, so what? 10 minutes is better than nothing.
Amy,
So being consistent is better than nothing, and it's going to be more sustainable than, have to say, oh, well, I didn't do all of the things, so now I can't do anything.
Say that quote one more time. What would happen if you stayed with one habit?
If you stayed consistent with one thing for 1 year.
If you stayed. I'm going to try to put it in the chat. Consistent with one thing.
Oh, and I also put my Christmas tree away.
That's crazy.
Good job, Rachel. It's still January. Good job. It didn't make it into February. You're winning.
This fake tree thing is crazy. That's a lot less of a motivational factor when it's fake. Like, if it's real, you gotta get that crap out of your house before it burns down. But now, when it's fake, you're like, it's kind of pretty it's sitting there. It was great. I was like, I'm so fascinated by that. But we have not had a fig tree. This is year 2. I'm kind of digging it. It's a little easier. My kids, we not go out there and motivate and chop it down like the old days, that kind of thing. But I used to love going to get the real tree. Yeah. Now I'm kind of addicted to this fake tree thing. So that's been good though. But no, I think we've hit a lot of good stuff tonight. This has been good. I want to do this more. You 4 are great. This is fantastic. The 1% tribe appreciates it. But I won't keep everybody till later. I got to give a couple shout out guests though. So we have, because I'm like a genius streamer, apparently now I have Rachel's Facebook onto the stream. So we got Paulette back. She's like fan number 1. She was fan. Well, other than Ryan and Paulette, they were my first 2 fans ever. That was awesome. So I am so happy about this. Next week, we'll talk about an herb. So I want you guys to really focus in on what you'd like to know about, what type of herb or what kind. Last time, if you haven't heard it, it's really good. Go back to the ashwagandha one. There's a reason why you want to do the ashwagandha. It's a whole body adaptogen, those kind of things. So just remember that. Other than that, guys, I think we're good. You guys got any parting last shots? Ryan, go first.
So yeah, like we were saying about fitting things in, so I got this big, huge order. I'm not trying to stress about.
Oh yeah.
I just recently got for my whiskey barrel business, but I'm doing 50 half barrel tables. They're not tables, but half barrels, and they're going to be engraved with whiskey logos on them. And they're going into a whiskey or a speakeasy bar down in Fort Wayne, and they're going to be hung up on the wall, like on a
really cool.
So this is the first time I got to work with a whole business to do 50 of these things. So I am. My goal is to, I've already set to do like power wash a dozen by next week, right? So within the next week, I gotta get a dozen done, and then by then I'll be able to do the burning like 1 to 2 per day. So I'm fitting it, trying to figure it out how to plan this all in my crazy life right now, and I think I have a way to do it. So
it's awesome.
As long as I stick to my plan, I think I'll be all right. But like you said, everybody needs to make a plan for your fitness, your health, your family, everything. Fit it in. Everything will fit in. You just can't. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Just jam it all in there and see that's how it goes. Yeah. That's life. Right. So that's the hardest part. It's like, right. Or Rachel.
That's why they make sleep apnea machines. So you get 4 to 5 good hours of sleep. We really
in a hyperbaric chamber to make sure. That's right.
It's gonna feel janky. It's gonna feel weird. You're gonna feel off when you first started out. Just like Ryan, you're trying to kind of sort out the pieces, but just keep at it, because at some point it's going to click, and then it's going to become easier, and then to install something else is going to become easier. So I'm focusing on my 10 days of movement. It's basically calisthenic. I'm inside because it's too cold outside. Just like Jeremy said, I am not going to the barn to work out. I do have a treadmill there. I prefer to walk. I do have the bike and the rower inside, but I just don't want to do that right now. So I'm focusing on just moving and doing calisthenic. I did modified burpees. I did air squats.
I love that Kelly on here with your girls.
I know.
Just really, body movement. So was it perfect? Today I really didn't want to do it, but I did it. Yesterday I followed the video. Today I just did my own thing, but I made sure that I did 3 sets, 4 different movements, and I got it done. So, and I got to make a check. There's a powerful, I don't know. I like lists. I like boxes. I like checking things off. So I have 10 squares, and I'm crossing off each squares. So sometimes it's elementary as that, but just know that when you start something out, don't expect perfection, because if you're aiming for perfection, you're going to get that guilt, you're going to get that disappointment, and then you're going to go down that rabbit hole. So just aim on doing something, and then the next day just improve it.
For time, if you were going to do a certain time for your certain goal, every day I'm going to do this. The goal isn't how long, it's just to do it. Don't just not do it. Do it every day. If it's a minute, it's a minute. If it's 60 minutes, it's 60 minutes. Just do it.
I've told clients, if you can't find 25 minutes consecutively,
and it doesn't have to be every day either.
5 times in your day. And sometimes my 5 minute is when I'm gassing my car, when I'm stirring something on the stovetop, when I'm waiting for my coffee to be done. That's when I'm doing my stretches. I look like an idiot walking down the hall doing this. I'm doing my arm stretches. I mean, my staff can mention that. So if your day is crazy, that's when you can do that. So yeah, Find those pockets like you're saying, Ryan.
All right. One more from Amy. You got anything?
No, it's pretty much the same as everything else. If instead of saying, well, I don't have time to do that, everybody has time. You got to make the time. It's just where's your priorities? How important is it to you to get this done? And I am very much a perfectionist, and I got to do it all, or I'm not doing anything. So I have been changing my mindset the last year, really, and it's helped tremendously. Like, I don't beat myself up as much anymore if I don't, walk on the treadmill for 30 minutes, or if I forget to track my food, or if I eat 2 pieces of pizza and, whatever. I don't get all my water in. It's like Rachel said, tomorrow's a new day, so I'll just try again tomorrow, and that's it. Because it's usually these are like life goals, right? Like, diet and exercise especially, but it's not typically something. If you make a resolution, it's not like I'm going to make a New Year's resolution for 1 month and that's it. Usually you're trying to change something significant, in your life. So
And one way you look at it as an exercise or something as being easier is that you don't have to do it every day. Like you said, Amy, you do it once a week. Right. Yeah. I mean, if you have to take 2 weeks off, it's not the end of the world.
No.
You know, it's not.
I agree. So I think we'll leave it with this so that we can get to the Ravens-Bills game, because I know all of you are so
or bed.
Could be the other one. So I love Amy's quote. She said pretty much, what would happen if you stayed consistent with one thing for 1 year? And I think if you start looking at that in your life, I think you're going to see a lot of good come out of that. So hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you Wednesday night.
Thanks
for
for
recording. And other than that, we'll see you next Sunday. So you guys have a good night.
Bye.
Good week, Jerry.
Bye.
See you guys.